Professor Dennis-Noble, last year and this year, you're delivering a message to youth.
To young people, that's right, yes.
And I think you have a special view on Korea, so I'm really interested about learning from you.
The way I see Korea and Koreans, I see Korea and Koreans as being the product of nearly 1,000 years of a very strong Confucian philosophy, which does two things, it seems to me. The first is that it generates a hierarchy towards the older generation being highly respected, which is very good. The downside of that is that there can be a problem when young generation feel that they're being left out. So there's both a good thing about Korea and a problem that occurs, but that is worldwide. So that is occurring everywhere. The second is that because of the philosophy that dominated the Joseon dynasty for so long, and still does, I think, you have an integrative view of the way in which everything interrelates. I say that in my book, in The Music of Life. I think actually that in the West, we made a big mistake in the 20th century by thinking that life was all to do with little molecules called genes, and that determined everything. You know, the reverse is true. We, the organisms, have to tell our genes what to do, and they only work when they are cooperative. The really selfish genes are cancer.
Cancer?
That's right.
Wow.
It's when cells become egoistic, decide to multiply at the cost of the organism. That is selfish, but that's a disease. It's not the normal situation, because all of our genes and molecules normally cooperate. So it's a misleading metaphor to say that they are selfish. The selfishness comes out in a disease, and that disease is called cancer. Because what is cancer? It's cells deciding, together with their genes, to go it alone, to take over, to take all the food, to take all the nourishment, you see. But that is a disease, it's not the normal situation.
So what you are saying is a human being is governed by not only genes, but also education and environment.
All of our environmental influence and the way in which we are brought up, and that's why education is so important. One of our prime ministers said exactly that. His message to people was education, number one. Education, number two. Education, number three. But to come back to the point, I think that's something you people would understand here in Korea, because education is also a very high priority in this society here in Korea.
Yes.
And that also, I think, is a very Confucian ethic.
그래서 영국 옥스퍼드 대학이 전 세계 대학 순위 1위예요. 이 학문의 비결 중 하나가 튜토리얼이라고 들었는데 어떤 교수법인지 설명 좀 해주세요.
네, 제가 이제 50대에 나이 50에 그 석박사를 시작을 했어요. 석사 과정을 시작해서 박사 과정까지 마쳤는데 영국은 이 대형 강의 그런 것도 다 있어요. 그런데 거기에 절대 출석 같은 거 체크 안 해요. 그리고 어떤 학생은 그 대형 강의 별로 안 가고 튜토리얼에만 전념을 해요. 그러니까 1대1, 교수와 학생 1대1, 또 교수 하나와 교수 한 분과 학생들 그룹, 4, 5명 그룹. 근데 대개는 특히 박사 과정에 있는 학생들은 one-to-one 하게 돼요. 옥스퍼드 대학의 unofficial 모토가 work hard, play hard거든요. 열심히 놀고, 열심히 공부하고 열심히 놀아라. 근데 이제 옥스퍼드 대학은 컬리지 시스템이 있어가지고 그 교수와 학생들이 컬리지에서 같이 지내요. 그리고 그 학생들이 과를 떠나서 그 컬리지에 여러 과가 다 있어요. 그래서 여러 과 학생들이 함께 모여서 토론하고 또 같이 어디 보트 파티도 가고 이런 여러 가지 행사가 있어요. 근데 그런데 참여하면서 아이들하고 막 토론하고 했던 것이 좀 도움이 됐던 것 같아요.
네.
그래서 거기서 사귄 친구들하고 제가 쓴 거 같이 공유하고 너의 의견을 달라. 막 이렇게 해서 디벨롭한 것이 굉장히 효과가 있었던 것 같아요.
They have to think for themselves, yes, that's right, because they get challenged by the tutor as they write their essays and show them to the tutor or read them sometimes to the tutor. They are effectively challenged. Why do you say that? What's your basis for that? It's looking for not what people know, but how they can reason, how they can argue. And that produces people, of course, who've got great confidence when they go to the outside world. They take the top jobs, not just because they're from Oxford University, but because they're actually very good at doing that kind of thing, of taking responsibility and thinking creatively. That's what we try to do.
그래서 한국에서도 이 티톡스 튜터링 프로그램을 전해주시려고 또 오셨죠.
많은 젊은이들이 좀 관심을 갖고 또 우리나라도 이렇게 좀 퍼졌으면 좋겠어요. 굉장히 좋은 교육 시스템이니까 숫자에 불과한 나이에 너무 연연애를 마시고 솔직히 우리 지금 이 프로그램도 꼭 뭐 청년들만 볼 게 아니거든요. 솔직히 부모님이 우리 티톡스 프로그램 보고 자식과의 소통에 도움이 될 수도 있어. 그 티톡스를 봤더니 참 젊은 사람들한테 이러이러한 게 있더라. 네가 들으면 참 도움이 되겠더라. 근데 네가 일을 하느라고 이거 들을 시간이 없었지? 엄마가 대신 들어서 너하고 공유한다. 얼마나 좋아요. 그 커뮤니케이션.
그러니까 이번 기회를 통해서 세대 간의 소통도 잘 이루어지길 바라는
그렇죠.
마음이 드네요.
네. 소통의 힘,
네.
소통의 깊이와 넓이
네.
다 동원해서 그 청년들이 자기 주어진 그 좋은 기회를 다 수락해서 그 젊음을 낭비하지 말고 완전 연소해서 자기 자신의 깊이 쌓여있는 그 잠재력을 딱 터뜨렸으면 좋겠어요.
Professor Noble, a matter of communication between generations is a kind of worldwide problem. And recently, because of the issue of Brexit,
Yep.
in England, it's also a big problem.
Indeed,
Yeah.
yes, curio.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, there was a big division between the young and the old in the vote on Brexit. The old voted for leaving, the young voted to stay. Large majority of young people below the age of 40 wanted to stay in the European Union. Moreover, every university city voted to stay in the European Union. Now it tells you something. There is a big divide, unfortunately, between the views of the old and the views of the young. And I think it comes down to this question of cooperation. Because what the young see is that the world has become globalized. We can't change that back. It's happened. And all countries have to face that. Now, there are problems with globalization, certainly, but you don't solve that problem by turning around and saying, okay, we'll go off on our own. You know, you depend on the rest of the world. And so this is not the time to start breaking organizations up. On the contrary, it's the time to try to bring things together. And I think the young people in Britain saw exactly that. Now, exactly why the old people voted the other way, that's a big question. Do you want me to try to answer that?
Professor Noble, in Korea nowadays, we have a problem of so-called end generation problem. Have you heard about that?
Yes.
That's a really serious problem.
Yes, actually that's happening in many parts of the world. If a country shifts rapidly towards declining population, you have a big difficulty. You then have a small young population trying to look after a large old population. That's out of balance. So I think there's a big challenge for governments and a big challenge for people working on the research necessary to work out what is going on and how to manage all of this, which is how do you ensure that things don't go too much one way or the other. Africa has the reverse problem. The population is growing enormously, very rapidly. Countries like Korea, Japan, France, Europe generally find exactly what you said here, which is that the young are not interested in having so many children now, and so the population possibly will decline. It's a matter then of managing that situation and how on earth to ensure that we don't go too much one way and too much the other.
Then concerning solution, in your home, England,
Yes.
your country has a fluent history in solving the conflicts between the generations. Then could we have a lesson
Yes.
from your home?
Well, I'll try. Actually, at the moment, we're not managing that very well because there is actually a big gap between the young and the old. It was shown over Brexit, of course, but it's more than that. This is the first generation for maybe 100 years that does not have the prospect of being better off than its parents. All previous generations have found, as you go from the mid-19th century to, say, 10 years ago, that always the younger generation had the dream, which was the reality too, that they would be better off than their parents. This is the first generation that know that is impossible. And that's very depressing. That's incidentally one of the reasons for tea talks. We feel that you have to be able to speak to people with that kind of problem, where they see that, how best to put it, they need encouragement. They need to be told that even in a situation like that, you can find a way.
Then you came to Korea to
Inspire.
give us
Yes.
courage.
Exactly so, yes. Because we have to do the same in England too. As I said, it's the same problem. The young there also are finding that there is a generation problem where the younger ones do not feel any longer that they've got opportunities that enable them to do better than their parents. That's quite difficult, psychologically speaking.
마지막으로 청년들에게 전하고 싶은 말씀 부탁드립니다.
정말 글로벌 리더, 글로벌 비즈니스 리더들까지도 너무 먼 곳까지 이렇게 계획하지 않더라고요. 제일 중요한 거는 지금 오늘 주어진 것부터 차곡차곡 거기서 성취감을 느끼고 또 발전시키고 또 발전시켜서 그거를 정말 스노우볼처럼 이렇게 굴리고 굴려서 그걸 크게 자기의 노력으로 만드는 것인 것 같아요. 자칫해서 청년들이 너무 큰 꿈을 가졌다가 그게 이제 중간에 좌절됐을 때 쉽게 포기를 해버리는데 절대 포기를 하지 말고 또 실패를 했을 때 또 미스테이크를 했을 때 그게 바로 한 번 내려갔을 때는 더 올라갈 수 있다는 그 굉장히 큰 희망이 있는 거거든요. 그리고 제가 늘 말씀드린 거 이렇게 깊은 골짜기를 봐야 높은 산봉우리에 우리가 도달할 수 있다는 거. 그래서 그거를 말씀드리고 싶어요. 절대 never give up, give up 하지 말고 또 fail, 실패를 했을 때는 다음에는 fail better. 다음에 또 실패를 하더라도 보다 나은 실패를 해야 되겠다. 그렇게 하다 보면 성공에 성공에 이른다고 성공할 수 있다고 생각합니다.
보이스 프롬 옥스퍼드 또 옥스퍼드 티톡스 두 프로그램을 인도하고 계신 두 분 교수님 말씀 들어봤는데요. 청년들에게 역경 속에서도 끊임없이 도전하고 현재의 순간을 포착하라. 또 인류가 지금껏 살아오면서 우리는 한 순간, 한 일부를 이루면서 살아가고 있으니 늘 연결돼 있고 소통할 수 있는 존재라는 것을 잊지 말라는 교수님의 말씀 들어봤습니다. 이 메시지를 통해서 우리 청년들이 희망을 얻고 앞으로 나아갈 힘을 얻길 바라면서 오늘 말씀 마치겠습니다. 두 분 교수님 말씀 고맙습니다. Thank you so
감사합니다.
much.